Hello and welcome to It's Earth Baby's Yoga Pose of the Week. My name is Kirsten and each week I'll be guiding you through a selected yoga pose where we'll go in depth on the benefits, how to, and so much more like philosophy, teaching cues, and extra tips and tricks you can use to get into the pose with modifications, injuries, and so on. So, if you are a beginner yogi or intermediate, this video is for you. Thank you for joining us. Today's pose is pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana, also known as intense side stretch. This posture invites us to lengthen the spine while grounding deeply through the legs. Energetically, it's a balance of stability and surrender, rooting downward while extending forward. It's an all levels pose that asks for patience, presence, and a steady foundation before we move ahead. The philosophy and symbolism, meaning intense side stretch, but the intensity here isn't force, it's focus. The pyramid shape symbolizes a strong foundation and steady ascent, while the forward fold represents humility and introspection. This pose reflects the yogic principle of steadiness in the legs and spaciousness in the spine, and invites self study as we observe where we grip and where we rush. Pyramid pose involves the hips, knees, ankles, spine, and shoulder, with strong activation through the legs and stabilizes. The hamstrings and calves lengthen while the spine elongates through the hinge hip pattern. Common compensations include overarching of the lower back, twisting the hips open, and collapsing into the front leg, or lifting the shoulders towards the ears. Before moving forward in the body, we establish what supports us. I'll guide you through the physical setup step by step. Listen for cues that help you stay grounded, calm, and connected to your breath as we move. Think less about how deep you fold and more about how steady you feel. First, start with the warm up. Pyramid pose fits beautifully mid sequence or before a peak posture. Warm up with a low lunge and half split, and then follow with a triangle or standing balance. A simple flow might be mountain, warrior one, pyramid, half split, downward dog. And remember, what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other. Now that you're warmed up, stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, stand tall, and feel the steadiness beneath you. Exhale, step your right foot back about 2 comfortable footsteps, far enough that you feel stable, not stretched. Inhale, place your hands on your hips and lengthen your spine. Exhale, point your front foot ahead, turn your right foot out 45 to 60 degrees. Your heels are aligned in one line, or give yourself a few centimeters if space feels unbalanced. Inhale, grow taller through the crown of your head. Exhale, slowly and without force, adjust your hips towards the front of the mat. Inhale, create space with each vertebra and lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold over your front leg. Like the sloping sides of a pyramid, keep your spine long and soften your left knee slightly if needed. Inhale, rest your hands on your shin, ankle, or blocks at whichever height that allows your breath to stay calm. Exhale, clasp your hands or elbows behind your back if it feels available. Bring your palms together in a prayer position, not as demand, but as an offering, letting the shoulders gently soften. Inhale, refine the length of your spine. Exhale, gaze softly towards your toes or keep your neck in a neutral position. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose, intense side stretch. For those exploring deeper variations, Anjali Mudra, prayer position, in front or behind the back, can be introduced during the hold. This mudra represents unity, balance, and devotion. Coordinate breath with movement. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to soften forward, allowing introspection rather than effort. Primary chakra of pyramid pose is the root chakra. The secondary connection is to the sacral chakra. Together, these centers support feelings of stability, safety, and grounded flow. As you hold the posture, you might silently repeat the affirmation, I am grounded, steady, and supported. The traditional seed sound for the root chakra is lam, sounding like la. You can repeat it silently during the hold or simply hold the intention. I am safe and supported. For beginners, the quiet mental repetition is more than enough. Inhale, legs are steady and unwavering. Exhale, notice where you grip and choose to release. Inhale, rise with the same awareness you used to fold. Press firmly into both legs and lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, engage your core and slowly rise back up, maintaining integrity through the center. Afterwards, you can do a counter pose, like a wide-angled forward fold, either seated or standing. Spread your legs wide, inhale, lengthen, and then on your exhale, fold forward, reaching down in between your legs. To get back up, bend your knees slightly and hinge upwards from the hips. And then do a slight back bend. Here you can press your hands on your back and push your hips forward. Using the other side, I'll show you some modifications and props. Pyramid pose is highly adaptable. Beginners can shorten their stance or bend their front knee. If your back heel doesn't reach the ground properly or it feels uncomfortable, you can place a bolster or a blanket behind it. Blocks under the hands, a chair, or a wall can offer support and balance. As you see here, I use the chair, and if there feels comfortable, you don't need to go any further down. However, you can also use the blocks at whichever height that works for you, or place your hands on your shin, knee, or ankle, depending on what feels comfortable. For a restorative option, use blocks or a folded blanket under your head, holding for fewer breaths and prioritizing ease over depth. Avoid this pose or modify carefully if you have severe hamstring or hip injuries. Watch for sharp pulling sensations or compensation in the lower back. These are all signals to ease up. Remember, pain is not progress. Support the body with props and choose sustainability over strain. Breath and nervous system. Slow nasal breathing or gentle ujjayi works well here with an emphasis on long exhales. This supports grounding and calming the nervous system. Breath retention is not recommended. Let the breath stay smooth and continuous. Benefits of pyramid pose physically stretches the hamstrings, calves, hips, spine, chest, and shoulders while strengthening the legs and ankles. It's deeply grounding for the nervous system, encouraging a calm parasympathetic response. Over time, it builds patience, focus, improved posture, safer forward folds, and a greater awareness of your body's space. If you would like to have the modification of your counter pose, you can sit on a chair and do your forward fold, as well as doing your back bend while seated on the chair. Advanced options include reverse prayer arms, shoulder binds, or transitioning from Warrior 1. You might also explore a breath-led pushing pulse hinge to refine awareness. As you come out of the pose, pause and reflect. Where can I soften without collapsing? Off the mat, this practice teaches patience during transitions. Carry this intention with you. I move forward with steadiness and grace. Take a moment of stillness and dedicate your practice to trust and stability.